We often talk about the problems and, we talked about climate change, a world without coral reefs, but I want to turn to what I think are hope stories and things that demonstrate the power of people. People can do anything. And here locally, when we look behind us, we're in Kaneohe Bay, which historically has been massively polluted. In the 60s, 70s, this bay received all the raw sewage coming from all of the residential houses in the bay. And the bay was really bright green. There was loads of big fleshy algae overgrowing the coral reefs. The coral reef was in terrible shape. In 1978, the sewage was diverted, primary treatment was put in, and since then, this bay has been given some assistance by people. So the Nature Conservancy and the state came in with this thing called the super sucker, and they literally sucked the fleshy plants off the reef and then gave them to the local farmers for agriculture. And behind it, they planted things that would keep the plants down, essentially things that would chomp away at newly growing fleshy plants. And now what we have are incredibly beautiful reefs that are covered in coral. It's such a great story because it says that people can do relatively simple things to give nature an assist. And once nature catches up, it carries on as before. It's adaptable, it can change, and it can reinvigorate if we give it a chance. So that's a great local example. But at a global scale, let's think about the ozone hole. Remember, there was a massive hole that we all knew we needed to close. There was all this discussion of UV and bad things happening because of this hole. The whole planet got together and banned the chemicals that were causing the problem. And now the ozone hole is closing. That's remarkable. That is a planetary action that has changed the course of the planet. So, I spoke to somebody, really smart recently who said, ecology, it's boutique, right? And in my own head, I was like, what? What is that person talking about? But what it really speaks to is the fact that I think people somehow see themselves separate from nature. And they don't realize that we are a part of nature. We are just one species among millions of species on the planet. And that we are as vulnerable as some of these other species. And so it's almost suicidal for humans to continue down this road, and yet we do. And the problem is perceived as so large that each individual who might want to take action feels too small to have an impact. So I think that I feel empowered or driven to act as assertively as I can. I've asked myself, what can I personally do? What is my skill prepare me to contribute to this solution? And now I'm advancing down a road where I'm using my highest skill and applying it specifically to this issue. All of us can play a part. And people will say, what can we do? And I'll say, well, electric car, put solar on your house, a vegetarian diet. A large amount of the greenhouse gases being emitted are associated with industrial meat production. Take one less plane flight, right? Because let's face it, the ultimate problem that we have is consuming too much and too many of us doing it. So, we can do it. We can mitigate greenhouse gases. We have alternative energies sources now that are absolutely viable. So we just have to get on. We just have to act and start. And each of us needs to be a part of that action.